Would you look at that? It's another cooking with Mir. Bet you thought it stopped. I didn't. The video quality is shit. Now the video quality is good. I just ended up cutting my face again, and I'm not gonna record it a third time. So enjoy footage of me speaking from just half my face. I'll fix the angle in the next, but I'm not gonna record something 3 times because ain't nobody got time for that. I'm a very stupid bitch 2 times because not only did I the first time lose the recording because I was not recording, the second time I recorded it the wrong angle. You can just see a quarter of my face, so that's fine. But as I was trying to say, this is what it's called a soda cake, which is basically cake mix and a soda can. So my friend Arthur suggested that I do this one because we both love Diet Coke, and it's a chocolate cake. It's called Chocolate Devil Sinless something cake. I think it's a reference to Angel's Food Cake. Anyways, I am doing this, and I am covering with, I have some cream, and I have, chocolate, because I'm making a ganache. It will not be a sweet, salty nutmeg ganache, but it's definitely another version of a ganache. It's not annoying and does not hop on Miley Cyrus's back, you know, when it runs around the workroom. And I got cherries because originally my friend wanted me to make a cherry Coke cake, but we don't have cherry Coke here, so. My only worry is that this can is too big because usually cans are 250 and these are 330 milliliters. But yeah, I got this. I got the soda. I'm going to get a bowl. So you should be able to see most of what I'm doing now. Open up the cake mix. I opened it. It just smells really nice. Just dump it. Beautiful. Open up the soda can with a knife because you have long nails. Okay. The soda. Oh my god, this is so awesome. It's all bubbling. I'm gonna go grab a spoon. So I'm stirring it now. As I thought, I think it's too much liquid because my cake batter is too liquidy. I should have put less, but that's on me. But yeah. Actually, no, it's a pretty good consistency for it. It's like it's not like the thickest cake batter ever, but it's actually a really good solid consistency. So you're supposed to stir it until you combine, and then you're just supposed to bake. Super duper clean. I did not just drop a jar. That is a sound effect I added. Okay, so now I'm going to butter my pan, my tin. This is one of the ones that open. So that's nice because I get to take off my cake at the end with not much of a mess. Margarine. Help. Just take a little bit with a knife. Throw it on the pan. And honestly, I just spread it around with my hands. Like so. Now, it's really a matter of choice and depends on the material of your tin, of your cake, your cake tin. It really depends on the material it's made of. And that's the question. Should I double coat it with margarine or butter, whatever, and flour? So, this is an anti-adherent, so it's a non-stick. For those of you at home not familiar with, for those of you at home who don't watch QVC all day, it's a non-stick tin, which means I don't really need a lot of fancy schmancy because supposedly it should work even without anything. It's just like this is an extra protection. But if it's a regular one, like this old school one right here that I shall pick up, I'm gonna cut this anyway, so you're gonna just see me rise up with tin. If it's like one of these, then maybe you want to do the double coating. And if you're gonna be like super safe, if it's super old one, maybe just do also parchment paper. I'm gonna wash my hand and put the batter from there to here. I don't do jump cut. Alrighty, I'm back. I got it on here. Make sure it's super well mixed, and now you can just do the beautiful Charlie and the Chocolate Factory cut. It sizzles, which is really weird. It's making a weird sizzling sound. I don't understand why. I'm gonna finish pouring the batter onto my tin. And then when the oven's ready, I'm gonna bake it according to directions. It's better to use a spatula while doing what I'm doing now. I am not, but you should. And yeah, once you've done all of this, make sure you wash your stuff. Lesson number 1, I learned from Ratatouille, a nice chef always has a clean station. I cannot tell if I like it or if it's gross. So you should have a clean station. So after you're done with something, just wash it right away, because if a messy station means a messy chef. Thank you, Ratatouille. Alrighty, now we're going to make our ganache. How do you make ganache? Take a little saucepan, smallest oven you have. Now, I'm gonna need cream. If you find a vegan option is always better. I should have vegan cream, but I didn't find it. Chocolate. Now, I usually mix normal chocolate with dark chocolate. Brazilian chocolate is actually really sweet, and most chocolate in America is really sweet. So if you are in the American continent, don't do milk chocolate because it's embarrassingly sweet. Go for a chocolate that's less sweet, something more bitter. Maybe those half ones are really good options. Since chocolate here, milk chocolate, is actually not particularly sweet, I have to put some chocolate that is actually pretty strong. This chocolate is actually pretty, I think this is a 70%, yeah, 72% cocoa, so it's a really strong chocolate. And they're usually on the pricier side outside of Europe. But if you can get your hands on them, they're the best. If not, you can put some cocoa powder instead. Make sure it's not sugared cocoa powder. Again, it's pricier. But if you can, cocoa powder. So you will do like your half and half for your milk chocolate and cocoa powder to make it better. I'm gonna do a full bar of the normal chocolate and half a bar of the, full bar of the bitter one, and a full bar, half a bar of the milk chocolate. So yeah, usually go for semi-sweet. If I'm in any place that's not Europe, it's usually the American continent, aka Brazil. But the same goes for the US. Just go for, you know, it's so hot that the chocolate's like on this state, but just go for the semi-sweet. I'm gonna get my chocolate spoon. I have spoons for cake designing and for baking, and I have a set of 3 spoons like this. One is for icing, one is for chocolate, just the one I use for the cake, but this is one usually I use for chocolate. Another one is for handling other things. It's so hot that my chocolate is already melting, so first things first, you will want to melt your chocolate down. Don't let it burn. If you're in the winter, and I mean like a very cold winter, you can even leave this unattended for like 5 seconds, like, I don't know, to chase your cat out of the door, or just to wash your hands if they get slimy with chocolate. But in the summer heat, it'll actually melt pretty easy, and it's pretty easy to burn, and burnt chocolate is something you cannot recover from, because it just fucks up the taste. So I've been at here for a few seconds, and it's already melted. Now, if you're not experienced with the use of chocolate, you can do this in a double boiler, which is what we call in Portuguese banho-maria. I don't know why, but yeah. So if you're not an expert and you don't know how to handle chocolate and have a lot of practice in handling chocolate, do a double boiler for the love of God, because your chocolate will burn. I am pretty skilled with chocolate. I took a chocolate course, so I know what I'm doing. but it's very easy to fuck up. So when my chocolate is almost completely molten, as you can see, I will show you actually, because again, do not do what I'm doing. Don't leave it unattended. My chocolate is almost completely molten. Actually, as I speak now, it's molten. Take the cream and pour it in. This is 250 milliliters of cream. It should be actually a direct proportion, 250 to 250. So I'm gonna actually have to put more chocolate. I forgot about the fact that I should have taken out 50 grams out of this. That's my bad. Always stick to proportions. So I'm gonna add my chocolate. Ganaches can go downhill pretty fast because cream is basically thick milk. Milk is a bitch. Milk is a bitch because it has a very low boiling temperature. What that means is it'll boil very fast, and once it boils, the very next step after boiling is evaporation. So that's the problem. When it evaporates, it means that all the air is going away, which means it's going closer to the heat because it's the base of the pan, which means it's going to burn. And then what did I say before? You cannot recover from burnt chocolate. Chocolate's in here and burnt milk. You cannot recover from that. You will definitely also fuck up your pan. I'm going to show you how the pan and the ganache is doing. We have a pretty good point. I am here with my stirring. My chocolate, even the one I added at the end, is all molten. But of course the ingredients are not well combined. As you can see, I can still see where the milk is and where the chocolate is. I want this to be completely seamless. I don't want to be able to see where one thing starts and the other ends. So you really want to stir it until it's completely one thing. Keep the heat medium to low. If you're not really good at chocolate and this is like your first time working with this, keep it low. As you stir, you will feel it thickening. It's because the milk is getting, the cream actually is getting close to boiling, so it's thickening. You know that it's thickening because you'll feel slight resistance as you stir it. It won't stir as smoothly as before. Make sure that you leave it for 5 seconds without moving to see if it forms bubbles. As you can see, it's starting to form bubbles. I'm gonna keep on stirring for it not to burn. When the bubbles are forming as I stir, it means that I should start to observe it because it could burn. So at this point, it'll be nice if you lower the heat, which I am going to. And I'm gonna keep on mixing. As you can see, it's always denser every time I lift it. It's thicker. Keep on stirring it. When it fully starts to bubble a little bit, you're gonna leave it aside. Oh fuck. I wanna leave it aside because at that point, it's almost thick. And you can see the sides are starting to get thicker. And that's what you want. So you keep on mixing. And I definitely feel a lot of resistance. And you can see that the bottom part is way thicker. I'm gonna leave it for 5 seconds and see how it behaves. Still fine. Keep on stirring it. And you want to do that until you see the bubbles. Observe. One bubble. As I stir, it's still there. Now I can see that it's a much thicker thing. So now I'm gonna leave it and see what it does. It's forming bubbles. Second step now. When you drag, if it separates, it means it's almost good. It should separate slightly. Here, it doesn't even give me room to separate. See, slowly, I have room. Now, as I move it, you can see that it actually moves with me. And you can see the bottom of the pan. If you can't see the bottom of the pan, either you do this or you do this. It means that it's thickening significantly. As you can see now, if I do this, you can see the lines that it creates. I'm gonna leave it aside now and let it thicken. As it thickens, it slowly smooths from the sides of the pan, and it starts obviously thickening, and you can see that. That is because of the sugar. It's a chemical reaction with the sugar and the heat. So it starts bubbling like that, and you can see that it's actually really thick. So now you want to incorporate the thicker part into the rest, so that your whole thing is thick. I can really see the bottom now of the pan when I do this. Look. So I'm gonna let it aside for about 30 seconds and swirl it one more time, and then turn off the heat and let it cool. As it cools, it'll solidify. Look, it's forming a crease. It's definitely thickening. Now the bubbles are much bigger, and you can see that the top is definitely thickening. So I am showing you this so that you can understand really how to do. You see the bubbles are really big. You don't want them to pop immensely, and you can see that the mixture is starting to move itself. I'm gonna give it 10 more seconds, and I'm going to turn off the oven. If you want this to stop, you should actually physically remove it from here, because the little metal thing still emanates heat. But I still want it to go. I'm gonna stir one more time. As you can see now, it's completely thickened. You cook it for about like 15 minutes, and I'll leave it aside now to cool, and I will open the window. My cake is in the oven. Hi, that's me. My cake is in the oven. I will take a little stick to poke it in about 20 minutes. I went to my room. I was like, okay, I'm gonna chill now. And then I was like, I might check on the cake. And I came here thinking the cake wasn't cooked. Guess what? This is dry. The cake is ready. I've baked the cake. Now I'm gonna let it cool down, and I'm gonna come back to it when it's time to ice it. Okay, so now I'm icing the cake. I have this right here. I am just doing the icing. I'm gonna ice it all, put cherries, put it in the fridge, and then take it out and just put pictures. Yay, that's it.